What up? It's your boy, Cuzzintruck. Man, it's bright out here. Coming at you once again for another car review. As you can see, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Well, let me not say the middle of nowhere. I'm actually here in Orlando, but I'm in an empty lot, just kind of doing this car review. So you've already seen the thumbnail, so let's get right to it. And here you have it. It's actually a 2026 Mazda CX-9 or CX90. I think it's the biggest Mazda you can get. And yeah, it's the CX90. So now I must say this vehicle is actually in this color combination with the dark wheels and the dark trim all over is absolutely beautiful. I wish that emblem, I wish the emblem was dark also, because then you really couldn't tell what kind of vehicle this is. But I mean, overall, this is just an absolutely beautiful vehicle. I mean, me personally, I'm not even a Mazda type of person, but I actually really like this CX90. And then you have the front end of it right here. And like I say, it's the black dot grille except the Mazda emblem, which I think looks gorgeous. I've seen some where this is all different colors and chrome, but this black on bluish gray is absolutely spectacular. And I mean, it has a huge front grille, which kind of gives it a more, you know, manly, bold feel to it. Turn signal. The daytime running lights are actually the headlights. It would have been nice if maybe this was the daytime running light. That's how that lights up. But yeah, that right there is it runs at night, but it's actually a turn signal. And yeah, I've definitely noticed with a lot of these type of vehicles, they don't have fog lights. I mean, I'm not going to say they don't all have fog lights, but this version here definitely does not have fog lights. One thing that kind of surprised me, and I was thinking about this when I took the car to the car wash to clean it. I cannot believe how big this front hood is. Like, you might not be able to tell, but I swear, I just have not noticed this big of a hood or this long of a hood on a SUV in a very long time. So I don't know if I'm the only person who's noticed that or if I'm just going crazy, but it just feels like the front of this vehicle is absolutely huge, like super long. And this here is the side of the vehicle. It seems to me like this is an SUV, but it definitely seems like it's lower to the ground than a lot of SUVs. I feel like they're the 7-passenger vehicles. Like, this one seems like it sits a little lower. It would be nice if this whole black trim was also the same color of the vehicle. I'm not sure why they do it that way, but the fact that the vehicle blue gray is kind of dark, and then it has the black wheels and the black trim, it actually looks very nice. Like, personally, I really enjoy the weekend with this vehicle. Like, it almost looks like it wants to look like a luxury vehicle. To me, it almost maybe looks like an imitation BMW or something. I need to do my research and find out exactly who owns. Thought I heard somebody coming. I need to do my research and find out exactly who owns Mazda. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. And let's see, I just use handy dandy Google, and Google tells me, oh wow, I didn't know Mazda is a Japanese vehicle from Hiroshima, Japan. So that's very interesting. I didn't know Mazda was Japanese. Wow. Yeah, and I guess this one is the inline 6, whatever that means. It actually features, what size wheels are these? Wait a minute, are these 22s? 275, 45, R21, so these are 21-inch wheels, which is good. I mean, definitely seems like it can handle some bigger wheels on here. But these right here definitely look good. And as I've been saying, this one I think looks really nice because it's like blacked out. The wheels are black. The front grille is black. I was about to say the door handles are black, but no, the door handles are the same color of the car. I'm really not even sure what color this is. Like, to me, it looks like it could be blue, it could be gray, but I think it's definitely a nice color regardless. And here we have the interior. Not a whole lot going on over here, you know, just your standard window switch and things like that. You know, decent sized cup holders. But this is the interior, and it's actually very nice. Like, of course, it's not the most luxurious interior I've ever seen, but it is still very nice for what it's worth. Like, you know, It has a nicer interior than I expected on the Mazda. So, you know, whatever that means. And so I haven't checked this. But yeah, so this here is the interior. Yeah, all vehicles now have this little screen here. You know, I mean, luckily this one still features buttons and things like that. So it's not going like those full electric vehicles. But it does have a nice little screen up here. Seems like the screen should have been a lot bigger, but hey, that's fine. I guess you gotta pay for that. So let's get this baby started. And so yeah, when you start it, it does this little animation and all those type of things. Right, yes. Yes, rich baby daddy, calm down. So, you know, it does all this little, it goes through the motions. Like I said, there's a lot of different safety features on this vehicle and a lot of buttons and things like that. So it's pretty nice. It has a standard, you know, old-fashioned gear shift, which is fine. Has your cup holders here. I'm so thankful it's a 2026 and it still features what I used to call a cigarette lighter. So thank goodness it still has that. It also comes with insulin and $5. Just joking, that was my $5 and my insulin. Speaking of insulin and $5, it has the absolute smallest compartment space right here. Like literally that's as far down as it goes. And you know, it opens up in that fancy type of way, but still just no compartment space really. And I'm a person who actually likes compartment space, so this little thing right here is kind of a negative for me. And so it has different modes. I guess it's called My Drive, which is I guess Mazda's way of saying drive. And so when you switch to different modes, you know, it does this little animation. Sports mode, which is my absolute favorite mode. Then you just got your normal mode, which is what you should be driving in to save gas. And then you have an off-road mode. Now, I'm not sure if this vehicle is 4x4, but it has an off-road mode, so, you know, I guess that means it is. Yeah, like I said, this is the screen up here. The one thing that's funny to me, it's 2026. And Mazda, guess what? This ain't no touchscreen. And it's kind of like, what the heck? It's 2026. Why is this not a touchscreen? Basically, there's a bunch of buttons and knobs down here. You use these buttons and these knobs to control the screen. So, you know, it's going through all this stuff. But yes, I'm the one who's actually controlling that with the knobs. I mean, it's literally a knob, like a twisty knob that controls this, and you push buttons and it goes to different things. But that there was kind of like, you know, this is 2026. Why does this vehicle still have buttons and knobs? Like, you know, and it's all controlled down here, which ain't the worst thing. Sometimes I appreciate this because I've rented vehicles recently that didn't have any buttons and knobs. Everything was through the screen. So I kind of appreciate that throwback to the way things used to be. So now let's check out the rear seat. All right, and it's overall not too bad. Like, it's definitely enough space for a guy my size. Now I will admit I'm 6'2". My legs are right here in the back of the seat. I got to kind of man spread in order to, you know, not have my knees hit in the back of the seat. But it's not too bad. Like, it's not super uncomfortable. There's also some controls back here. I do hate that like everybody's going to these stupid USB-C chargers, and they suck. I don't know why we still can't get the old-fashioned chargers. I guess these apparently supposed to be faster. But it also has air control back here, air vents back here. And this is the view of the front from the back. And yeah, one thing I've learned about a lot of these vehicles that I rent is that sometimes the passenger, you know, you got to kind of, you know, I'm always driving the vehicles, but I realize there's certain vehicles that's, you know, it's nice to be a passenger in. And I would definitely say this is one of those vehicles. Like, it's not too bad. It's not the worst. Like, it's somewhat comfortable, but it's like, you know, but just kind of keep that in mind in case you got a lot of big guys like me all going with you. Because this is supposed to be a 7-passenger vehicle, maybe 8. But if you got like 4 guys my size, I don't know how far you're going to get with that. Yeah, and also this one features a panoramic moonroof. Now, the only interesting thing is this one doesn't go back as far as many of the vehicles I've rented or been in, because usually this whole entire thing will slide all the way back, which would even allow, like, I couldn't even stand up and stick my body out this moonroof. But it's still nice. I mean, it's still, you know. And like I said, this one, all right, one last other thing. There's a curtain on both sides of this. Like, this curtain right here lifts up, which I guess is good for the kids, or if you just want some extra privacy, you can, you know, roll the little curtain up, which is fine, but I don't know if that's standard in Mazdas or what. Said this one actually features a third row seat, but I don't even know if I can fit back there. And personally, I don't even know if I'm gonna try, but let's see. See, so to lift this third row seat up, you just hit this right here, and you try to slide it forward, and there's not a whole lot of room back there. Let me see if I can get back here, but I'm gonna have to get back here off camera because I don't want to fall and break something. So let's see. Okay, my God, you gotta be a gymnast to get up in here. So I'm here in the third row seat, and overall is actually not that uncomfortable. The problem is, so it's funny, I actually have more space in the third row seat than I had in the second row seat. But the problem is, look how close that seat is. So basically, if a guy my size 6'2" decides to sit in this third row seat, nobody can sit in front of you really, except for a very small child or like a car seat or something like that. But I mean, you know, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. Like right now, and I guess because I'm just back here by myself, there's nobody in front of me, it really doesn't feel that uncomfortable. And it seems like maybe Mazda needs to make an even bigger CX-90 or something like that. But definitely if you got like younger kids, younger people, they could possibly fit back here with no problems. But this definitely ain't meant for no grown man. So let's also check out the trunk. Like, this is how close that seat would have to be in order for somebody my size to sit in the third row. Like, that's all the space. My arm can barely fit through there. So, you know, keep that in mind. The rear of the vehicle, which, like I said, overall is a very nice vehicle. I'm still trying to figure out exactly, 1, 2, 3. I'm still trying to figure out what this vehicle is trying to look like. And there's a part of me that feels like it's trying to look like a BMW. But yeah, I'm still struggling, trying to figure out who is this Japanese vehicle trying to imitate. And what do you think? Is it BMW? Maybe. And so let's open up the rear. And here you have it. Now, you might have saw, I was sitting here earlier. Now, this is all the space you have left. I had a couple of other boxes back here earlier. And so this here is the rear. And this is basically all you have left. Now they do have, but this is all the space you have. Like, it can fit my hat, maybe a bag. But if you're actually trying to go on a road trip with a couple of people, this really might not be the vehicle for you. Like, maybe if it's for you guys and you can let these third row seats down, that would work just fine. But this definitely isn't a road trip vehicle with a large family. Like, it just ain't gonna work. Because I mean, like I say, there's really no space. You can't even fit a body back here. Somebody once asked me, why do you always say about fitting a body in the trunk? And I'm like, listen, I'm not promoting unaliving people. I'm just saying, in case you're in a rush and somebody needs to jump in the back, like, no, nobody my size can jump back there. Maybe some little kid. And so, yeah, this is the rear. And so then everything is touch button, so you just push that, and bada bing, bada boom. Okay, and actually I realized this is all-wheel drive, so that's cool. Yeah, but overall, I would say this is one of those vehicles where I would rent this again, but it would have to be this exact one and this exact trim level and stuff like that. Because, like I say, overall, it's a very nice vehicle. You know, I almost want to go as far as to say elegant, but there is something about it that just feels kind of luxurious, looks kind of luxurious. Like I say, I can't tell if it's trying to be a BMW or what those. I'm not sure who Mazda was trying to imitate, but, you know, overall, I feel like they did a pretty good job on this vehicle. And like I say, this is the 2026 Mazda CX-90. So as usual, if you out there, I'm talking to you sitting on the couch or on your phone. I hope you're watching this from your phone, because that'll help the algorithm. But if you have a vehicle out there that you would like Cuzzintruck to review, just keep in mind I might need like a day or two with the vehicle to drive it around and give it my honest opinion. I will definitely say this one did okay on gas. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst, but basically I went from Orlando to Miami, which you probably have already seen that video because I've already posted it, and it burned like basically almost a full tank of gas. And so it's like, that's not the worst, that's not the best. But as I said before, if you have a vehicle out there that you would like Cuzzintruck to review, please, let me know, hit me up. And as I've said before, I appreciate you guys for always checking out the videos. Like I say, I do these reviews just to kind of get myself on this side of the camera, and because I rent all these different cars, and so sometimes I like to talk about them. So, it is what it is. But I'll catch you guys on the next one, all right? Peace. That's recording.
You do it. You the one who about to do it.
You the one who asked me to record you. Know what you got to say?
Why you putting that so? You said subscribe, leave a like, and share the video.
All right.